All right. What is going on, everybody? I know we're not going to be playing any music right now. So, what we are going to be doing is just kind of jumping right into this thing because I don't want to overrun because we have a poetry show tonight. It's going to start at 8 o'clock. And so don't miss out on that. It'll be really, really cool. It's a Beatles show.
Oh, wow.
It's all Beatles songs. So you can get to hear some Penny Lane and Band on the Run and all them good oldies but goodies songs. What made rock and roll.
That's right.
But yeah, I'm here with Jonny Lust. He's been in a bunch of different bands. So there he is right there on camera number 1, and then you'll get an overview of him too. So, but yeah, we'll get all this stuff going on. So yeah, what's going on, man?
Thanks for having me.
Been a minute. The last time you were on here, you were with Shane.
My buddy Shane Knight, Rockstar Shane Knight. He's a great artist. He's got several CDs out, and we're just with respect to Shane, we're going through all the list of musicians to get the right guys to learn his records and get the band together and the tour lined up and all that stuff. I don't want to say too much. That's Shane's thing, but that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. That's pretty cool.
A lot of fun.
That's really great. So yeah, so you just came back from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, I did some shows out in Wisconsin with the Stinson brothers. Hello. And Ricky and Bobby. They're internationally known artists. They were Enigma Capital recording artists. And we did a Brooks and Dunn tribute thing, Only in America tribute show out there. And it was a lovely theater, the Fireside Theater. It was in the round. The stage comes up from the basement. What a great gig! Totally professional. Everybody there at the Fireside is just lovely, and the band was just great. Bunch of great guys. And, yeah, I just really dig the Stinson brothers. They're really cool. They asked me to be their drummer for a bunch of shows that they got coming up, and I said yes. And there you go. So we're just gonna have a crazy fun time on the road and stuff. Those guys like to be on the road as much as I do, and I think that's kind of how it works. We just enjoy each other's company, and everybody gets along and laughs and has a great fun time. And that's it for those guys. Those guys are great guys. They're playing at they're actually doing a trio gig this Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you go to the Gravy Train Saloon this Saturday at 9 o'clock. They're going to be doing a trio thing there, a bunch of country stuff and some Brooks and Dunn and all that. So make sure you guys check that out.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, here. Let's see. Okay, that's that one. Let's see. Tap on your mic real quick for me.
Check 1, 2. Hello.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a little closer to it.
Okay, I'll French kiss this thing.
There you go. Yeah, you gotta. It's coming in, but not as loud.
You need that.
Yeah.
Broadcast voice.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was that's really cool, and yeah, Wisconsin was
great.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I had Ricky and Bobby. Can't say Ricky Bobby because they were two different people.
That's right.
Yeah, they're two different people.
Bake.
Oh yeah. We had them on the show a couple weeks ago. It was really cool.
Yeah, they're great.
Had a lot of fun with those guys and a lot of good stories and it was a lot of fun. It was a whole lot of fun with those guys and Ricky was boat captain.
Right.
And
right. He is a certified captain. Yes, he is.
But I got a bigger license than he does.
There you go.
I could actually tell him that mine's bigger.
Did you hear that, ladies? Captain Steve has a bigger license.
Oh But it was, yeah. Ricky's it was a great guy. It's really to see how small of a world we really do live in.
Absolutely.
I was working offshore out in California. I was a deckhand.
Right.
And it turns out one of the captains that he worked with at Hornblowers was my captain.
Oh, that's great. What a small earth plane.
And so it was,
sure.
so I start laughing and he goes, "You know him?" And I went, "Yes, I do."
That's awesome. It's something that's really amazing that I learned about the Stinsons on tour with them in Wisconsin a couple of weeks ago. The record that they released on Enigma Capitol, they had some studio musicians perform on it. They told me that they had this guy play a few drum tracks on it, and I'm just going to kind of say it how it went down. They said, yeah, this guy, apparently a well-known guy, older guy, Hal played drums on our record. And I'm like, what? You mean Hal Blaine? And they're like, yeah, that's the guy. So apparently one of the Wrecking Crew musicians, original drummer Hal Blaine, performed on the Stinson Brothers record back there. And that's just freaking amazing. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure all you drummers out there go out and get that record if you can find it, or when they re-release it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that's just awesome. That's like having God play on your album. Seriously.
I'll bet. Yeah.
It really is. It really, truly is.
Yeah, that's really cool. Been kind of doing a little bit of not really research, but kind of looked you up a little bit. Some of the stuff that I am so terrible with names. Some of the bands that you've been in, you played with quite a few bands over the years.
Yeah, I've been fortunate and blessed and honored and humbled, all of the above, to sit behind the drums on the drum throne with some of these great artists.
Mm.
I mean, when I was a kid learning how to play drums, never in a million years did I think I'd actually be performing with these guys that I had posters of on my walls and stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That's cool.
But then again, there's a lot of those guys here in Vegas, so you're bound to bump into someone like that. Everybody's moved here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, man. It's always a wonder when you get to see how many musicians really are here.
Absolutely.
And they're from all walks of life. They've played with so many different people.
And the big rock star guys of the 80s, all the guys from Hollywood are here now, it seems like. It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool.
Ronald J. Farrell from Houston's joined in on.
Hey, Ronald, how are you, buddy?
Andy from England. What's up, dude?
All right, England, UK.
See. Oh, and Danny from New York.
Danny
He's
from
here.
the Big Apple.
Yeah, we got we got Ronald. He says what's up, and he goes share it, and he's plugging all of our Ron is such a great dude. This guy is
Rev Radio, Revolution Radio, everybody.
Yeah, he plugs Rev Radio. He plugs C4OC Radio, Global Enlightenment Radio Network.
Awesome.
They've got some other shows going on, like right now.
Right.
So what I'm doing is I'm going live with this,
right,
and I'm recording it at the same time.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm going to put it up on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and I'll also send it in. I'll also submit it to.
And we have it on Facebook
Global
Live here
Global
too.
and Radio. Yeah, and you're on. Yeah, we're on your stuff too. So there you go. There you go. So tell you what, I'm gonna do something that. We have a text now number.
Okay.
But that number is there's something going on with text now in our system. So what I'll do is I will give you my personal number, and if you guys want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in if you have any questions for Mr. Jonny Lust.
I did post it. I think they
Um,
can see it on the Facebook Live feed here too.
But yeah, it's on. Yeah, it's on. If you're on Johnny's Facebook Live, it's on there. If you guys are on mine, a lot of you guys know my number anyway. It's
Call in.
702-807-8259.
There's the number.
And what I'll do is, let me get this one right here. We get, let's see. I'll make something up and I'll put it on there. Cheryl Wallach is on. Hello, Cheryl. How you
Hi,
doing,
Cheryl.
sweetheart?
How are you, sweetheart?
Yeah, she's one of our roommates here at the house.
Oh, that's, I met her last time I was
But
here.
she's out doing her job right now.
Oh,
So
good deal.
she's out working, making that money.
That's good.
Bring me my share, damn it. I'm kidding. I don't
That's
have a
awesome.
share at nothing. No, but it's all good. But yeah, it's got a lot of regular people that are on here they're usually on my feed and everything, and I really appreciate these guys so very much. But yeah, Johnny, I mean, you've been playing drums for better part of 30 years.
Wow, 49 years.
49 years.
Yeah, I'm old. I should be
Yeah.
a lot better. For as long as I've been playing, I should be smoking everybody. Wow, let me see. Yeah, 49 years. When I started out
Wow.
playing drums, I was actually a big band swing drummer.
Oh wow.
Thanks
Really?
to my dad. Yep, I was heavily into Buddy Rich, big band. I just sat in my room and that's all I listened to. There was one particular album. It was called Live at Ronnie Scott's, live in London. Buddy Rich. It's a live performance, and I fucking nailed that. Can I say that? I totally nailed that record. That's when I was a kid, like at 8 years old, 9 years old. Then my dad got me into that. He was into that big band swing stuff. And when I was like 7 and 8 years old, back at the house on Magnolia Avenue and 11th Street in Long Beach, I was just doing rhythms, like playing on my mom's pots and pans and my Johnny Lightning and Hot Wheels toy boxes and stuff, set up on a dresser that I had. And I was doing rhythms like that. And my dad actually came in he said, if you can learn how to play this, I'll get you a drum set. And the song was Sing, Sing, Sing by Benny Goodman Orchestra.
Oh wow.
With Gene Krupa as the drummer. Well, I learned that, and then that Christmas, so I was 8, that Christmas, we moved to the house in Signal Hill, but that's where I got my first drum set. He bought it from a police officer friend of his that was a drummer, and it was a used Silver Sparkles Slingerland jazz kit. I still wish I had
Oh wow.
it. It was an amazing kit. It's a vintage kit, and of course, when you're a kid, you don't know what you have, and you piss it away, and it ended up in a pawn shop or somewhere. Just horrible mistake, but. At any rate, that's how I learned how to play drums. It's a big band swing drummer until one Christmas when my cousin Marty got Kiss Alive 1 for Christmas. And he said, check this out. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And that screwed up the whole jazz thing.
Oh wow.
And then I got into Kiss,
Yeah. You know who else started out as being a big band drummer?
Who's
or
that?
wanted to be a big band drummer was Steve Smith from Journey.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
his first love is big bands.
Absolutely. I could totally see that and hear it in his playing. Most
Oh, yeah.
definitely. Peter
was,
Criss is the same way.
Really?
He was a big band swing drummer and then became a rock drummer, and you can hear his style in Kiss and all those early records.
Wow.
Definitely. Most definitely.
Very cool, very cool.
And then I got into like the Osmonds. I'll admit that. I'm not afraid to say that. I was totally an Osmonds fan.
Oh, I used to watch them every weekend too. Had the biggest
Jay
crush
Osmond
on.
was a great drummer, actually.
Yeah, I had the biggest
And
crush on Marie.
It's funny right. If you pull up some of Jay Osmond's old drum solos from the 70s, it's really funny because when I still do drum solos to this day, I find myself still doing some of his stuff that I've taken from his solos.
Really?
I swear.
Nice.
So I was major into Elvis Presley,
Mhm.
big time. That whole band that Elvis had, excuse me, the TCB band, there was nothing better than that. James Burton, Ronnie Tutt on drums, Glenn Hardin, Jerry Schiff, all those guys. Just an amazing band. And then, the Kiss thing came, and then the 80s hit with the new wave stuff. And then I used to drum roadie when I was 16 for this band called Scarlet. And that drummer named Jim Cook, I have to give him and pay him his due. He's the guy that introduced me to Terry Bozzio's drumming. He's like, you got to listen to this guy. And the record that he played me on a cassette was Night After Night, a live album by UK. And that's the first time I heard about Terry Bozzio, and that's when I became a fan of Terry Bozzio. I saw Missing Persons like 52 times, and
wow.
I took lessons from Terry at an early age, and then the whole full circle thing came about for me when I actually became Dale Bozzio's drummer. So that was kind of cool. But 49 years playing drums. It's a long time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting. Got my technical advisor that's telling me. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to match our vocals out. So I think I got it. All right. So yeah, we're good. Getting that up there. But yeah. So the the different your first kit and everything. I remember I played snare when I was in high school.
Oh boy.
And so not in high school. I was in grade school.
Okay, grade school.
I started in fifth and
So
sixth
you're a
grade.
drummer by
I'm a snare drummer.
a snare drummer.
I can hit one thing, and I could do okay on that. But
did you learn all your rudiments and the whole charts and all that stuff, the stickings and all that?
yeah,
See,
a little bit. I mean, it was just the snare. I was just like,
I never did that, and I should have, because all the snare drummer guys like you and guys you pull up on, they're just freaking amazing, man. They're really cool. I
put me in front of a whole kit
learning
though,
all that stuff.
I'm lost. I'm just like, I'll do one thing at a time.
Right.
I tried playing in church for a little while.
Oh, there you go.
And I could get the hi-hat okay, and I could do this all right, and I could kind of do a little bit, but that was it.
Well, if you have a little trap kit,
I couldn't keep time with my left foot and my
right.
right foot at the same time.
Your coordination gets crossed.
Oh, I was, yeah. No, they were just like, okay, we're gonna get somebody else to play drums. Get off of here, kid. Go away.
That's funny. Oh my god.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I used to do. I was a worship drummer for a bunch of years, a couple, 2 or 3 years, rotating at all the different locations. At the time they had 5 different locations. There's an outfit here in town called Central Christian Church, and they were a really good band. Great. It was run by Michael Murphy back then, and Aaron something. I can't remember the guy's name, but great musicians, great worship team, super great musicians, and that was a lot of fun. And I do have to say that worship music is really heartfelt, and it's a lot of fun to play that stuff. But I did that for a few years, and I was in a Christian worship band that we actually recorded originals and stuff. And that was a band called Jordan's Cry with Brian Goins and Wesley Goins and Lisa Jones. Hondo Blackout from Dizzy Bitch, the lead guitar player and lead singer, was actually in that band for a little while. But he didn't go by Hondo Blackout, obviously. He went by Sean Stafford. That's his real name. But he kind of actually brought me into the band. Him and Brian, I've been knowing those guys. They've been my brothers forever. But yeah, so Hondo Blackout was actually in that worship band, Jordan's Cry, with us a long time ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's one for you viewers and listeners. Hi, Sean. If you're watching, what's up, buddy?
Oh, yeah.
Call me. That's funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got one thing about living in a house full of roommates,
Right.
it's funny because they forget I'm doing stuff like this.
Oh, right. And they text you, hey, bro, want some pizza?
Oh, no, they start playing their music at full volume.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay. Well, at least they're not playing drums, so
There
we're
you
good.
go. There you go.
No, we got some good roommates in here. They're pretty cool.
Great. That's good. That's good.
Kind of let them know, and then they're like, okay, we'll be quiet. I was like, okay. Yeah, it's not bad though, but then sometimes it's like, okay.
Let me say hello really quick to some of these people.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh boy, we got Craig Van Duren, we got Rick Noble, and we got Aaron Duffy and John Wilson. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for chiming in.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Very nice.
and we also got Ronald. Ronald likes your shirt.
Oh, yes, it's a flat Earth shirt with the NASA logo. We'll get into that later.
Yeah. I got my own theory on the flat Earth.
Okay.
Because navigating,
Right.
you see the curvature of the Earth, so it curves. It is a curve.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it flattens out after that, but it is a curve.
I got a dispute for you on that one. That's part of one of the things I will bring up with you later.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that. I mean, I'm open to a lot of different theories.
Right.
Yeah, I really do. And it's, for me, honestly, it's to each his own. If you want to believe that, that's your belief system.
With respect to navigation, since you brought the word up, it's kind of, and you can research this, but once you get past the equator, it's funny how lost ships and airplanes and stuff become more difficult to find. Why? Because the lines, they don't converge back to the South Pole because we're not on a spinning ball. They actually spread away from you.
Interesting. Because I've crossed the equator.
There you go.
I didn't get lost.
Well, there you go. That's why a lot of the ship people back in the day, they navigate by the stars and all that.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
there you go.
Celestial
We have a captain
navigation.
here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, yeah.
Or a deckhand.
No.
Oh.
I started as a deckhand.
Oh.
That was way back in the day. That was like.
So he is a
really-
captain.
No, I have.
So that's why he's Captain Steve-O.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have a.
It makes sense now.
Yeah, I hold a 1,600-ton master's license.
That's great. Wow, there you go. Awesome.
So
now
it
we'll
kinda,
get into that. We'll get into that.
Kind of trumps Ricky's 100-ton.
I should have sent you the one video. I think I might have, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. You sent me quite a few, and I was just today was kind of I've had a little sporadic day today.
Is that right?
And so I had to go do all my pre-registration for my surgery tomorrow.
Right, yeah.
And I had to get the little thing stuck up my nose. And the first time they did it, when I did my knee surgery, they only did one side.
Oh.
This time they did both sides. And she goes, oh yeah, this is going to be a little different. This won't burn. It'll just be a little tickle. And she sticks it up my nose. She goes, tickle, and then tickle. I'm like, oh.
You're a lot braver than I am, man. I would not have anybody do that to me.
Well, I kind of have to if I have to have the surgery done.
Right,
So
that's right.
they gave me all this paperwork I had to fill out and everything. So I was like, okay.
No food, no drinks for 24 hours.
Well, no, I can't have anything.
12 hours, I think it is.
Yeah, it's 12 hours. I can't have anything to eat after midnight. So
midnight.
Well, no, since it's 12 hours, I can't have anything after 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, because of your
So
surgery.
and they actually, because it was going to be, I had to be there at noon, but they called me up just a little bit ago and said it got moved up to 10:30. I'm like, okay, cool.
Well, that's even better.
Nice. Yeah, get it done, get it over with.
Say some prayers for Captain Steve-O, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing his surgery tomorrow.
Yeah, they're gonna do.
That's why we're doing this today.
Yeah, so we're doing this day. And how'd your jam go Monday? I was gonna go out there.
Jam nights are great. Thank you for asking. Every Monday, ladies and gentlemen, here in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the new Gravy Train Saloon. Now, let me just tell you, Gravy is a well-known, well-respected. Everybody loves this guy. He's been bartending here in town at all the bars forever. Now he has his own place, Gravy does, and it's called the Gravy Train Saloon. It was the old Shattered. In fact, on Bar Rescue, John Taffer goes in to rescue this bar and turns it into his vision called Shattered. And I believe that's what it was last called, because obviously now it's the Gravy Train Saloon. But I believe I remember it years ago before Shattered as the Bottoms Up Bar, like a bikini bar or something like that.
Okay.
I think. I want to say that's where the location was, but it's a great place. They have great food there. We do a jam night every Monday from 8 p.m. to midnight. We have a full backline supplied, the drums, one guitar amp, a bass amp. All you got to do is bring your guitars, your bass, and plug in. We got the PA. A lot of the singers are bringing their own microphones, which is probably pretty cool, safely, for the COVID thing or whatever, if they still have that in their mind, which is great. So it's turned into a circus. Everybody's come. I think we're the only jam night in town on a Monday. I want to say that. I'm not sure, but I want to say that we're the only. And everybody loves Gravy, so they're not just coming to jam. They're coming to hang out with Gravy and buy the food, and they have an outside patio. You got everything there. The TVs are going whenever the Knights games are on. We watch the Knights games, and then we didn't think the Knights would have gone this far into the playoffs, which is great. So sometimes
they're tied right now.
Right. So sometimes their games have been falling on the Monday nights. So we wait till the game's over and then start the jam right after that. And then we'll go a little later, but it's working out great. Right. It's working out great. We're getting a lot of great musicians. Stogie Blues is coming in. The Stinson Brothers come in and jam.
Oh, nice.
And, Aaron Duffy, like this guy that just chimed in here, he's been coming in. The house guys, I've been using Hal Singer on lead guitar and John Rocker on bass. Together, eclectically, them two together know a whole
ton of songs,
country, actually, classic rock, blues, everything. So it's really good to use those guys.
Dr. Rock was supposed to come on the show too, but he had some scheduling.
Oh, is that right?
Mishaps, but he's due to come on sometime soon.
Oh, cool. Very good.
So that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cheryl. I appreciate that. She says best wishes, Captain. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Very nice, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, go Knights, go.
Go Knights, go. Absolutely. So they're tied, huh?
Yeah, they're tied.
Okay.
They're tied with it's the.
I think it's Canada, right?
Yeah, Canada.
Someone in Canada,
the
Avalanche
the
game,
Canadians.
Boy, that was nuts, man.
That was crazy from what I heard. I heard there was a lot of people that were just like, okay.
Yeah, that was some great series there.
Yeah, but they the last game they won in overtime. It was 2-1.
Right.
So they won that in overtime. So that was pretty nice. That was pretty. It's good. I kind of follow hockey. I'm trying to get a little more into it.
I kind of just got back into it thanks to the Stinson brothers.
Yeah, we went and saw the Silver Knights. A friend of mine, Gary, had got some tickets.
Is that a lower league?
It's like the Wranglers were back. I guess when the Wranglers were here. I guess AAA. I guess it is.
Oh, okay.
It's like the semi-pro team. I mean, I'm sure they're professional, but they're not NHL. It's
right.
I guess
was that do they play at the T-Mobile as well?
Yeah, they played there at T-Mobile.
Wow.
They're actually getting their own stadium.
Oh, Jesus.
They're building their own stadium.
Everybody gets their own stadium but me.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I don't have
my
one.
own damn stadium.
I don't have one either. So, but yeah, it was really cool. Danny, Dana, and Danny, my co-host. She was going to be here tonight, but they got some research they got to do, and so they weren't able to come out, or else you'd have two of us interviewing.
Right.
But that was her first hockey game.
Oh boy!
And she's like, she goes, "I'm a fan."
It's a rock concert. She
got to see somebody actually get knocked out. The guy's okay, but he was just. I mean, he got slammed hard.
There was a time I used to work for an outfit called Nothing But the Best Concert Seats. And I'll never forget the phone number. It was 1-800-SEAT-U. It probably still is. I haven't called it for years. 1-800-SEAT. And that was Ron and Howie's outfit. We used to be ticket brokers, i.e. scalpers. So I was doing this around
you were the one
time.
that was standing outside.
Well, you know,
hey, get some tickets. Want some tickets?
But I would never do that. I was one of the guys that would go buy the seats, like go to the Forum or wherever to get the crew together and go buy as many tickets as we could. But we used to go. This was during the time when Gretzky was playing with the Kings.
Right.
So we used to see all the hockey games there for free. You know, we had so many tickets. We would just go. And we knew we had plants around the friends. I shouldn't say plants. That's kind of a bad word. Friends. We'll say friends that would work the door. So like the night before, if the Lakers were playing, if we couldn't sell them tickets, we'd just take some of those Lakers seats and go the next night when the Kings were playing and just go to the door where our buddies were and just hand them the Laker tickets. He'd say thanks, and he'd rip them and hand us the stub, and we'd walk in for free.
Wow.
And we just cruise around Row Z. Row Z is basically just the walkway around, and we would just never sit down. We would just walk the whole game.
Right. Never sit down. It's just
but during that Kings playoff championship season, we were there one morning buying more tickets for the Kings because they advanced. I got interviewed by Fred Rogan.
Really?
You know Fred
I know
Rogan?
who Fred Rogan is, yeah.
Yep. I left everybody. They were all over there on that side of the Forum. So I came over here to be by myself or do whatever I was doing.
He was on Fox.
I was by the Forum Club. I think it was CBS or
CBS or Fox?
It was one of the three, ABC, CBS, or NBC. It was
NBC. It was NBC.
It was probably
That's right. Yeah, NBC.
So anyways, I'm over by the Forum Club now, and here comes the crew. And well, this will be cool. And they pull up, and there was just maybe 3 or 4 of them. And he's standing there. He's got the white thing around the collar, and they're doing his hair, and they're putting the makeup, and they're getting him all ready and stuff. And I'm just standing there by myself, just watching the whole thing unfold. And he sends his buddy over. Hey, so I go over there, and Fred Rogan looks at me and says, "Hey, man, what's your name?" I said, "Jonny Lust." And he looks at his buddy. He says, "Perfect." We're here with Jonny Lust, and he interviews me. It was great.
Oh, that's funny.
There was only one person I know in life saw it as it was happening live, and that was my Auntie Jerry.
Oh, wow.
Hi, Auntie Jerry.
Oh, that's funny.
I have a low battery, so this thing's going to quit here any second. So
okay.
Thanks everybody for staying on as long as you can.
Hey, well, jump on over to Captain Steve-O on Rev Radio.
Here you go.
Yeah. Go on Captain Steve-O's page. Just type in Captain Steve-O on RevRadioVegas.com. It'll come up on the page, and you can continue watching if you'd like.
There you go.
So go ahead and do that.
There you go.
I'm sure it's been shared and everything else.
Yeah,
and all
everybody's
that,
got the links.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I tell you, Ron has a pretty good show that he does every Wednesday night.
Oh, cool.
He does Rockin' Ron's Reviews.
Oh, good.
So he's on Facebook Live, and he's on C4OC Radio, which is our sister station in Orange County.
Oh, good.
But yeah, he does that. It's I think it's at 7. I think it is 7 or 6 or 7 o'clock. I think it is.
Cool.
Our time. Worldwide, yeah. But yeah, you mentioned you grew up in Signal Hill. Right?
Signal Hill, right by the 405.
Yeah, I used to when I got out of the Army, I went and I was hauling crude oil.
Oh.
And so I ran a lot of Signal Hill.
Yeah.
Some of those leases and stuff, and it was.
Yeah, man.
It was pretty funny.
Signal Hill was cool. When we first moved there, the oil derricks, you see them everywhere. You know, they were working. You know, they reminded me of grasshoppers when I was a kid.
Right.
You know?
Going the little dinosaurs.
Yeah. They were all working, but boy.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Had the
Good old
hiccups.
Signal Hill, the skateboard championships down Shell Hill. That was always fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. So yeah, 7 p.m. our time. Yeah. So it'll be 7 p.m. our time, 9 o'clock Central time, and 10 o'clock Eastern. East Coast time. So yeah, so check that out. Really good. He does some really good reviews. Does a lot of C4OC, the band.
Right.
And he did Lit Soul.
Oh, good.
Some of those guys. Lit Soul's got a show coming out in a couple weeks out here. We'll be broadcasting that show.
Oh, that's
so
great.
That's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I ran a jam session for a little while. It was over at the event center.
Oh, wow.
Over on the Civic Event Center. It's a roller rink type place. But upstairs they had a place called Rock and Rollers. So it was actually pretty cool. I mean, beautiful place.
That's who runs that? Bill or no? I have his number. I just texted him because he wanted me to do a classic rock night thing there at Rock and Rollers. It's a big ice rink down below. Dan.
Yeah.
Dan. That's the hockey guy. He's a hockey guy.
Yeah.
That's funny. You were running that place up there.
Yeah, I was actually.
I actually played drums at your jam one time.
Yeah, I think so.
I did.
Yeah, with
Electrica on guitar.
Okay.
She's her husband or boyfriend Ren. They used to come to my jams. I did a Kiss jam over at the mini golf, Kiss mini golf, where they're like 28 weeks. And the thing is, you could only play Kiss music.
Right.
And she used to come and play all Kiss, man. And I hadn't seen her for a long time. And I was trying to get myself into that club, and I heard about the jam night. In fact, I think Electrica was involved in being the house band for that thing. But I do remember jamming there a couple times. That's funny that you played there.
Yeah.
You had the jam there. That's great.
Oh yeah, we had a jam there on.
Too bad that club didn't last. That was a great place, man.
Well, you know why it didn't last? They didn't have a liquor license.
Oh God.
Yeah. There's
sucks.
still some events that they have there.
Yeah.
But they cater in the liquor.
I just texted Dan to see if he could use Three Blind Mice or my solo vocal show, and he thinks it's a great idea. But lately, the people that have been renting out his venue or whatever for their events, they usually bring in their own DJs. They said,
right.
So I can dig that.
Oh yeah. He was okay. I mean, he's all about the money.
Yeah. What a drag. That was a great place, man.
Oh yeah. Thing is, they had just opened up, all right? So we were kind of one of the first ones to be in there to do anything in there.
Right.
And we built it up from nothing. And it started building some momentum. I got a house band that would play, and then I had everybody else kind of come in as to bring your stuff. We had a whole back line.
Right.
So if you played drums, all you had to do was bring your sticks.
Yep. That's how we do it.
You didn't have to do that. Didn't have to bring anything else. If you didn't want to use the house guitars that we had.
Oh, you guys had your own house guitars.
Yeah, we had.
Wow.
We had one electric. We had two electric, and one bass.
Wow, that's great.
We had a Jackson bass. Hardly anybody used it, but we had all the amps. We had everything. We had a full back
that's
line.
amazing.
The sound system and everything put in there, and I won't say anything bad about Dan or anything. We had our differences, and I wound up saying, okay, I'm just going to get all my stuff and come out, and they went down there because we showed up one day, and all of a sudden they're like, well, we don't have any liquor, and everybody's going,
what?
Why?
Right.
And then when we don't have a liquor license,
that'll
I'm like,
kill it right
shit.
now.
Oh yeah, and so a lot of people just went, okay, good seeing you, bye.
Right.
I'm like, oh shit. All right, well, that's not good.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. But
Great
But
place,
yeah.
though.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Great place.
definitely a great place. And
Hauling all that gear upstairs is always a bummer, though. Especially when their elevator and their lift was broken.
oh yeah, the elevator was broken. It was just like, okay, that just
That just
Hauling-
puts a
it took-
damper on everything.
It took a
man.
day. It was a good
Oh, at least a
day.
day. PA gear, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, cords. Taking it down. Oh my God, we had it all out in. It took us less time to take everything out than it did to take in. But it was just.
But yeah,
Yeah.
every Monday it's been going great, man.
Yeah.
It's been really good. We're fortunate to have the musicians show up. We were every Monday you're just kind of like this, and it just fills
Right.
up.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
Well, there's a lot of places that are dark Mondays, and so
Right.
the people that are in the industry.
We
that have
were
shows,
trying it at first at Gravy's on Fridays, and of course it being Friday night, it was great. And then we got word that Vegas was going to be opening up again.
Right.
So we're like, that means the musicians are going to be going back to work. So why have a jam night on one of the very nights that they're going to be working on?
Right.
So we talked about it. We just picked Monday. It's the first day after the week, and it's working out great. It's working out wonderful.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. I did. I did mine on. We did mine on
Tuesdays.
and there was a lot of people that asked me, well, how come you did Tuesday and not Wednesday? I went, I don't want to compete with Zito.
Zito had his electric jam.
Zito's got his electric band on Wednesdays.
That's right.
I'm not doing the same thing on his day. I don't want to piss him off.
Right.
I want him to come to my jam
Absolutely.
at some point.
Sure.
And he never went, but Stoney showed up. Stoney and
I was there a
and there.
night when Stoney was there.
Yeah, I was on Seventh Heaven when he showed up. I'm like, dude, you came to my jam. Nice.
That's great. Yeah,
I
Stoney's
said,
a
you
great
gonna play? And he
musician.
goes, not tonight.
He's a great musician,
Oh, yeah.
man.
Well, but Mike Varney played a couple of times.
Yeah, Barney.
Varney's he's an excellent guitar
Is he
player.
still doing that record label thing that he had?
I'm not sure.
I remember he used to.
I think he is.
He he put out a bunch of artists, bunch of guitar guys.
Oh yeah, he's put out a bunch.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, but
That's great.
I'm not sure if he's still doing that or not. I haven't talked. It's been.
I think the last time I jammed with him was at.
Been over a year since I've seen him. Before everything shut down, I didn't see him for.
It was
a
at the
while.
Island Bar. They used to have a jam there, and I played a couple songs with Varney.
Yeah.
He's a good guitar player.
Oh yeah.
Real good guitar player. Yeah.
Yeah,
Real
he's.
good.
But yeah, I was Monday night. I did a small show Monday night. Didn't do a whole lot. I replayed an interview I did, and then I was just like, you know what? I had to go check out that jam because I saw your.
Oh, you gotta
your
come,
Gravy.
bro.
And I'm just like,
I'll take the snare out and just set it up. just the snare drum. I'll have everybody leave the stage. Just for you.
Yeah. Oh. I'll play the little drummer boy or something.
Here you just do your charts, your rudiment charts, and there you have done with it.
Oh yeah. I remember the Island Bar is over on Maryland Parkway, right?
Yeah, that was on Maryland, I believe it was.
Yeah, it's real
Maryland.
small. I saw some guys there one night, and I was there with a friend of mine, and these guys were all punked out and everything, kind of looked like the Sex Pistols.
Oh boy!
Almost. And it was funny because all of them were all sitting in a row, and they're all texting. And I'm looking at them, and I start laughing. I'm just like, okay, I don't know if I should say this or not, but this is hilarious. I told my friend, I said, check this out. I said, I gotta take a picture of this. I took a picture of the guys, and they all kind of looked up at me. They all got that little punk face and their spiked hair and everything. I said, look, it's the Text Pistols.
Oh, that's great! That's excellent.
And it was so funny. And
the
I posted,
Text Pistols.
I posted that on Facebook. I thought it was I don't know these guys.
I gotta find that now on Facebook. I gotta find the picture you were.
Yeah, I gotta.
Or just send it to me.
Yeah. I'll repost it here for you
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely.
It's actually pretty funny.
That's excellent.
But it was but the one thing a lot of people don't realize about Vegas is that it's not just a gambling town. It's not just it's not Vegas isn't just the Strip. I mean, there's so many great places that are off the Strip that nobody knows about.
Right.
I had a friend of mine come from Colorado, and she's spent some time on the Strip and stuff, and she called me right around midnight, and I was just coming home, and I said, yeah, I'll come get you. She goes, I want to go somewhere that's just off Strip. We'll just go sit and talk somewhere. I was like, okay. So we went over to Vamp. Vamp was already, they were almost shutting down.
Right.
And so we stayed there. I talked to Donnie for a little bit, and so we talked a little bit, and then we went over to Mr. D's, and she's like, I had the best time.
There you go.
I didn't get home till like 4 a.m.
That's awesome, though.
That's
awesome.
She goes, man, there's so many things that are off the Strip that's just really amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, so it's just not just, you go to the Strip if you're a tourist.
Right.
And that's what you want to go see. You want to see the hotel stuff, and that's great. That's fine. All those shows.
If you can burn $3,000 in a weekend, that's where you go.
Oh yeah, definitely. But going out and going to see, all these different bars off Strip.
It's funny.
The Gravy Train and
when I was a kid,
like
my dad was a police officer for Long Beach, and he would get off work at 11 o'clock at night, and he would come over to the house. This is before my mom and him were married, but he would wake us up or pick us up and take us in the Cadillac, and my brother and I would wake up at the Circus. That was always awesome. I always told myself when I was a kid that I just loved Las Vegas and I would always live here. Now look.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Oh yeah. But
that was great. That was great. Just
the,
waking up as a kid. And oh my God, there was one time, I'm probably 7 or 8, and my brother is probably 9 or 10. And my dad loved craps, so he would always go play craps. My mom loved the one-armed bandits, so she would always go play the slots. Well, at the Circus, there's that damn mezzanine for the kids, the arcade with all the games, right?
Right.
This is way back in the 70s. What dad gives both kids, $200 each? So that's $400.
Oh wow!
So between me and my brother, I got 2, he's got 2. We blew the whole thing within an hour or 2, playing dime pitch and everything. We go hit up my dad for more money. He gives us another $200. So that's $800 within probably in the course of one day.
Right.
A little kid. I had a big giant bag of ashtrays for my dad. Here you go.
Wow.
He used him and my mom smoked like chimney Benson and Hedges back then. So they had, I'll never forget it. They had lanterns and ashtrays. They're, what the hell is all this? I said, well, I want all this stuff as a dime pitch.
Oh wow. Dang.
Funny stuff. Stuff you remember when you were a kid.
Man, I think I was lucky if I got $20 when I was a kid.
Well, this was Vegas. This is a little different. Yeah, 400 each.
Dang.
That's crazy.
That's some crazy money.
Yeah,
there.
that was. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's oh yeah. Well, with getting back to people that live here. I mean, that's a really cool story. Living, growing up here in Vegas and stuff.
Yeah.
And one thing that I like about Vegas, or living here in Vegas, is that nobody cares where you're from.
Right.
A lot of them say, "Oh, you're either a transplant or you're homegrown." Nobody really cares.
Right.
It's just like you are who you are.
It seems like, except for in the rock and roll era, it's not as if they care. But they're realizing and finding out that they're all from Hollywood. They're all coming over here from back in the day, which is great.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which is great.
There's been a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, I played in Hollywood for
Gene
so many
Simmons
years,
just moved here.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Gene
Simmons just moved here. Henderson, $10.1 million pad.
Dang. We'll go knock on his door.
I guess there's some high-end restaurant over there. I can't remember the name of it. People have been seeing him at.
Mm.
And like one of his the first meetings, or they saw him, he was by himself, and then the next time they saw him, he was with Paul Stanley and Ace Frehley.
Wow.
Which is interesting. So why the hell is Ace Frehley there? I know they're getting back on the tour again. They're doing that
again
for the end of the road tour. They're going to continue it.
Didn't they? Wait.
Well, the pandemic stopped it. You know, it put a roadblock in their end of the road tour.
Didn't they stop touring like 4 times already?
Well, yeah, you know, and the Stones too, the Rolling Stones, they all do. They all do.
They just can't let it go.
Quiet Riot's touring. There's not even any original guys in the band.
Right? Yeah. I think,
which is really strange.
I think Frankie was the last one, right?
Yep. Well, he wasn't even an original drummer, but he was the famous guy. You know,
famous last one.
Yeah. But out of respect to the players, I guess there's 1 or 2 guys that have been in the band for a long time, so they're just holding on. It's just bizarre.
I was really, really fortunate. I didn't meet Frank, but I got to meet Rudy.
Oh.
Rudy Sarzo.
Oh.
And he's been, I've loved watching him play for a long time.
Yeah.
When they first came out, when Quiet Riot first came out. And I saw it, I just dug the way he played. And just, his attitude and everything. And it was really funny because I watch a lot of bands play.
Right.
And I'll watch and I'll see their energy and I'll see, and you can tell if they really love it or if it's a job.
Oh, right.
And when it's a job to them, it's just like, okay, they don't put out as much. They're just playing. They're like, yeah, I'm good. I'm playing. This is what it is.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But when they really enjoy it, they're out there having fun. Really having fun. And he was just, and it was funny because I was sitting down. And I was taking pictures with my little brother. It was at the Hair Metal Awards that Sally Steele did a few years back.
Right, yeah.
So I'm taking pictures and stuff with my little brother, and at that time, my vertigo was really bad.
Oh.
So I was kneeling down, and I was kind of leaning to one, and I almost fell over.
Right.
And he kind of caught my shoulder. He goes, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." He goes, "Have a little bit too much to drink?" I went, "No, I'm totally sober. I have vertigo." And he goes, "Oh, sit down." So he told me to sit down next to him. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Because I was getting up next to the stage and taking pictures and stuff. And
wow.
Take a break. I'm like, so it was really cool. So I got to sit down and talk with him and stuff. And I kind of leaned over and I went, "Thank you, and thanks for. This is really cool." And he looks at me and he goes, "What's your name?" So I told him my name and stuff, and shook my hand and everything. I said, I really enjoy watching you play.
Oh, that's great.
You just have so much fun up there. I could feel your energy up there, and
well, that's cool.
It's amazing to watch you guys play. And he goes, "You ever been to a Quiet Riot show?" I went, "No." I've seen the videos, but I enjoy watching all the videos and stuff. I know it's not just for the camera. You're actually really having fun. He goes, "Yeah. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't fun."
Right.
I'm like, wow, nice.
Well, there you go. That's something else I remember from my dad. He always told me, with respect to making a living, my dad always said, and I'm sure you've heard this too, always find something you love to do because you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
So there you go.
Oh yeah. Definitely. It's just like it's kind of like doing this.
Oh, absolutely.
I enjoy talking to musicians and really getting to know them. Not just saying, oh, hey, hi, how you doing? It's not that, but actually sitting down and having a one-on-one conversation. It gets everybody else to go, okay, yeah, he really is a cool guy.
You mentioned Rudy, so I got to share this with you. When I was 16, 17, 15, 16, around there, we used to go see Quiet Riot back in the day with Randy Rhoads and Drew Forsythe and Kevin and all that. And this is when Kelly Garney was in the band. And then Rudy got in the band. And that's when we really started hanging out with them. Because my first time seeing Quiet Riot was that original lineup with Kelly Garney, and they opened for Angel at the Santa Monica Civic. Everybody was like, "Oh, you got to see this guitarist, Randy Rhoads." And long story short, we would start hanging out with the band and all that and blah, 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 and all that stuff. Fast forward to probably 10 years ago now, I became a counselor at Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp here in town.
Really?
I was one of the rock star guys. Whatever. So anyways, it was Yes Week. The band Yes came in. And all these people paid thousands of dollars to be taught how to play or record or jam or do whatever with the band Yes. It's Yes Week. So they asked me if I wanted to work that week with Yes. I'm like, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Rudy Sarzo was another counselor. So I became friends with him again.
Wow.
I'm like reminding him of all this stuff. And he did like a Q&A thing, a question and answer thing. And he had mentioned that he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't like to party anymore, and this and that. And his memory came back really sharp, and he remembers quite a bit. So I would start asking him stuff and reminding him stuff from when I was a kid back in Quiet Riot. And then one of the days later, he saw me in a room by myself, and he pulled me, he said, you know what? I remember you from way back then. I remember you now. It took him a couple days. But there you go. Hi, Rudy.
There you go. Yeah,
It's pretty funny.
Rudy Sarzo, great.
Really cool guy.
Great
man.
musician.
Great guy. I had the chance to play with him at the last day of that whole thing, that Yes Week. All the counselors did a jam, and I got to jam with him, Gary Hoey, Brent Muscat, and Kane Roberts from Alice Cooper's band, and that was a lot of fun. You can pull that up on YouTube as well. I'll send you the link for that. That's kind of fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
You got Rob Chevelle in here.
Hey, Rob.
He's from Lit Soul.
All right.
He asked, isn't Flat Earth the Finnish band with half of him in it?
There might be a band called Flat Earth, but I'm not in it.
I don't know.
I should be, though.
With actually he has him as not him as in you, as him as in HIM. The band Him.
Oh, the band Him. Oh,
yeah.
I've heard of that band.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Not too bad. Yeah, kind of popular band. But yeah, Rob Chevelle's from Lit Soul. He'll be playing out here.
Awesome.
And,
way to go, Lit Soul.
Yeah,
Support those guys.
Over at the was it the
Rockstar Bar?
No, Diamond Saloon.
Blue Diamond?
No, not Blue Diamond. Double Down Saloon.
Oh, Double Down. Oh,
Double
that
Down.
place is great. Oh my God, I haven't been there in forever, man.
Yeah, actually get to.
In fact, the last time I was there was a fight that broke out there. Not with me, but what a great place, man.
Oh yeah. And last time I was there was for Bad Little Sisters CD release party.
Oh, is that right?
Oz Fox was there, and I wound up spending about 2.5 hours just talking to him.
Yeah.
He's out there. Really great guy to talk to. He's supposed to be coming on the show too, but
good.
Since he had, he agreed to it, but he told me, he goes, I just can't talk about Stryper. I went, I don't want to know about Stryper. I want to know about you.
Right.
As a musician, how you started and what you like playing, and pick your brain a little bit, and just get to know you as a musician and a person.
Right.
And he looked at me and he goes, okay, what do you want to talk about? And we sat and talked for like 2 hours.
Oh, that's great.
Really great guy to talk to. It was really, really easy to talk to. And I've been a fan of his for a while. I went to a Stryper show back when I was living in Oxnard at the Civic Center. So the place was packed.
Right, yeah.
And towards the end of their show, they start throwing the Bibles out. Right. He tossed one and he threw it, and it just hit me right in the head.
Oh boy!
And I told him that story, and he goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, I think God was trying to tell me something." I don't know. Got hit in the head with a Bible.
Yeah, Oz used to live with me in Henderson with when I was my first wife, my ex-wife. This was actually when he was courting Annie, his second wife, his wife now. He was just they were just talking to each other on MySpace. Remember MySpace?
Right. Yeah, I had a MySpace page. Yeah.
So I just formed Playground, or Three Blind Mice at the time, and I had Frank Domino from Angel in the band, so it had to have been Playground, and Jimmy Crespo from Aerosmith was in the band, but he had just left my band, and Oz was driving from Rancho Cucamonga to Henderson to go out with Annie all the time, like dating and stuff. And I'm like, dude, why don't you just, we have an extra bedroom, why don't you just freaking move in and or better yet, why don't you just crash here on the weekends that you're seeing Annie, that way you don't have to get a room or whatever and drive back and forth. That's just crazy. He's like, no way, bro, really? I'm like, well, totally, obviously, yeah. So that happened. So I saw that whole relationship like blossom.
Wow.
Like pretty much like the water flowering, watering the flower. I saw that whole thing. And then there was a time where Annie actually ended up living at our apartment for a month or so. But I'm not going to say anything bad or disrespectful about Oz or Annie both. I love them dearly both. I think of them as both like sister and brother. But obviously there's a little weird stuff between all of us. But time heals everything. You know what I mean? But we'll just leave it like that. I know Oz had some bad stuff happen with him, being afflicted with the tumors and stuff. So hopefully he's nipped that in the bud.
Yeah.
Or
he's actually doing pretty good. From what I've seen on his page and stuff.
But I just wish them both, great success and in a completely loving manner. So if you guys are watching, I love you guys. But yeah, they're wonderful people. Oz and Annie, they're lovely people, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
That's really cool.
You could pull up a great video of a Playground video. We're doing an Angel song actually called "Can You Feel It," and there was nobody at the club. There was maybe 20 people there, and we're playing at the Las Vegas Country Saloon of all places, there on Fremont Street.
Wow.
That upstairs club. And Oz does a great guitar solo in it.
Oh yeah.
Does a really good.
The guy's amazing.
Yeah, he's a great guitarist.
I've watched him. He was up playing a couple of at a show over at Vamp.
Oh.
And, that's when I first saw him. My first saw him, I guess, when I started going out more and everything.
Right.
And it was funny because he walks over and walks over at Vamp, and I'm sitting at a table. He comes over and I see him walk in. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's Oz Fox. And I'm looking at it, it's got that's got dark in there, so you're squinting a little bit.
Right.
So I see him and I say, oh yeah, that's Oz Fox. And he goes back and he looks at me, he stares at me, he's kind of got his head tilted, and I'm with a friend of mine that was from out of town. She was sitting there, and we're talking, shooting the shit and everything, and she goes, that guy looks familiar, and he's staring at you. And I'm like, okay, so yeah, that's Oz Fox. He goes, you know Oz Fox? And I'm like, actually, I know him. I don't think he knows me.
That's awesome.
But it was really funny because he looks and goes, and that's been the only time that I've ever really been that guy. Say, hey, can I take a picture with you?
Oh, right.
And so I say, hey, you mind taking a picture with me? He goes, yeah, sure, no problem. So the girl took the picture and stuff. And he goes, and he looks and he goes, you look really familiar. He goes, why do I think I know you? I went, and then she pipes up and she goes, I think you guys are related. And he looks at me, looks at her, looks at I'm like, I don't think we are, man, but and he goes, I think it's the hair.
That's funny.
And so he goes like, well, that's how I introduced myself and good to meet you. And then every time after that we saw him, he goes, hey Steve, how you doing?
That's great. So yeah,
he's a really good dude though, man. He's just
hopefully he does your show. Hopefully he comes on.
Oh yeah, Michael T. Ross is going to be coming on.
Michael T. Ross is a great
and,
keyboard player. He's been
Chris Cicino, he's going to be coming on too.
yeah, who?
Chris Cicino.
Oh yeah, I know that name.
Yeah.
I know that name. I just can't place it right now.
I saw him do. He was at a. He played at our.
Michael T. Ross did some. He was the keyboard player with when I was with Missing Persons for them shows with Dale Bozio.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I think he still does some shows with her, actually.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he does
the rock vault thing.
Yeah, does the rock vault, and Chris Cicino does the tenors of rock. I think
Oh yeah.
Does that, and he plays a wicked Joe Satriani.
Oh, does he?
I've hardly ever seen anybody play Joe Satriani like he does. And I'm watching it. He did Vegas Rising for us in 2017.
Oh.
We did that benefit for that Route 91 thing. And he played. I'm just like, wow. I was just like, I've never seen anybody play that.
That's awesome.
Because Joe Satriani's hard to copy.
He's really tasty. You know, I've never really got into him. A lot of guitar players that I know, they always talk about him as a player. I'm more of Steve Vai, Randy Rhoads, Yngwie, Ozzy, or not Randy, Eddie Van Halen, Ace Frehley type guy.
Yeah.
But I know that the stuff I've seen that Satriani do is just amazing.
Oh yeah.
But I just like Neil Schon from Journey. I would prefer I just like him more of a guitar player standpoint from a drummer aspect more than watching Satriani. Even though I know Satriani's great. I'm going to have a lot of guitar players mad at me now.
Yeah.
But no, Satriani's great. He's really good.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's very cool. Very cool. Well, we're on the we're coming up on the hour mark.
Are we? Wow.
On the hour mark.
Boy,
so,
time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, that's actually funny because there's a lot of there's some interviews that I've done that have been under really strict time constraints.
Right.
And they always last longer than what
Oh yeah, they go over.
Because it's we're just having fun. It's just there's I was interviewing Steve Smith from Journey. He did a thing at the mall.
Oh, did you go to the art thing?
That art thing.
I wanted to go to that, man.
Really, he's got some really cool
I met him
stuff.
at the NAMM show in Anaheim a couple times.
Yeah, dude,
real nice guy, man.
Yeah, I went back there and so I had an interview with him, and there was a guy that was interviewing him before me, and this guy had notes, like pages of notes, and he's going down the list, and Steve Smith's just sitting there looking at him going,
really?
Okay, next question. Okay, next question.
So
then he got done.
He didn't want to do it. He probably didn't want to talk anymore.
No, the look on his face was like, okay, I got to do another one. I said, yeah. So I'm just a small internet station right now, and this is before I got Revolution Radio and really dove deep down inside it,
right?
And started owning it and everything else. But we were talking. I said, I know you just answered 101 questions, and the guy's standing behind me. I said, I do my interviews a lot different. He goes, so his manager goes, we got 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, not a problem.
That's great.
Okay, so we know all this stuff when you started playing and this and that and all this other stuff that you've already answered. I don't want you to repeat yourself. So I opened up his book that he has. I opened it up. I said, okay, tell me about this Indian stuff that you're doing, that you're getting into. And his eyes just lit up.
There you go.
Well, now, the dude that was there mentioned the book, but didn't ask him about it. He just mentioned, goes, yeah, I wrote the book, and it has this, and I'm getting into that, and getting into this. blah 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 blah.
And just bypassed it.
Yeah, just kind of just.
Wow, so
real quick touchdown. I said,
you
"Tell me
struck
about
his
this."
you struck his interest up.
Oh yeah, and it was just like So we started talking about that a little bit, and I said, so when you first started playing drums, when you first got interested in doing that, were you into rock? Were you into? What got your interest? He goes,
Right.
big bands.
Oh, there you go.
I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, I did not know that. He goes, no, I didn't get into rock and roll until after high school.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, okay.
Oh, that's great.
That's really neat. We wound up talking for like.
That's kind of weird that you got that look when I told you that I was into the big band thing.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, that's
cool.
There's not a lot of drummers that will either A, admit it, or B, really mean it.
Right.
Like,
There you go.
Like, well, okay, I've been a rock drummer for a long time, so okay, I got to stick with the rock thing. Yeah, when I first turned Iron Maiden, that's when I had to be a rock
Right.
But there's a lot of people just say.
Well, that same feeling that you got with Steven, seeing him light up about, oh boy, this is great. Finally someone's going to ask me something I can be. I got the same vibe, and I'll tell you real quick. For Christmas one year, my girlfriend or my roommate, we all lived together, got me a book from the Police, the guitar player, Andy Summers.
Okay.
On tour, he became a photographer, so he released a big giant book, a picture book of snapshots and pictures that he took on that previous tour, or that he's collected of him taking on all previous tours or whatever. Just a whole collection of different pictures. Well, I got that book for Christmas.
Wow.
Well, fast forward now a few months or whatever, I'm at the Rainbow in Hollywood. And I'm out by the payphones. And I get off the payphone. This is when there were payphones.
Yeah, I don't think they're there anymore.
And I'm about to go in, and they're given a problem with this little guy. He doesn't have his ID. And Tony and Mario and Big and Steady, they're all standing out there, and they won't let him in. and his manager or his buddy that's with him, they're going like, you don't understand, sir. He's in the police. Oh, we don't want no trouble here. We don't want no police here. and we don't want no trouble here. And I start laughing. I go, no. This is the guitar player from the band, The Police. This is Andy Summers. And they're all looking at me, and then 1 second, and then they go inside to talk about letting him in or whatever.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm standing with Andy Summers, and it's just the two of us. And he's looking at me, and he said, "Oh, thank you for saying something." And I said, "You know what, Andy? I have to tell you, bro." I said, "I got your book for Christmas as a gift. It's called Throb." And he said, "Oh, you got that?" Same thing. What, he got all excited. That's just what made me think of this. You telling me about Steve Smith. Yeah. And I'm like, I think it was great. All those pictures. That's awesome. You took up a hobby, obviously, and you got a book and you put it out. How weird is that you're here? I just wanted to let you know that I got it, and I totally dig it. The look on his face, he gave me a hug and he said, "Thank you so much." And then his manager came up, "Okay, come on, let's go." And he said, "Gotta go." And then that was my meeting with Andy Summers.
Nice.
Just like that. So
That's
the
really
same
cool.
vibe.
Oh, yeah. That's
Same
always
vibe.
awesome, yeah.
I totally forgot I met him.
Yeah. It's always really cool when you get to, there's a lot of people that have, they get to where, they get starstruck a lot. And they get, and they went to, I don't really get starstruck because I could recognize somebody and go, okay, I think he's with this band or that band, I think. Don't know for sure. Ask me somebody's name, like, what the guy's name is,
Right.
But it's really funny because when, Vinnie Paul was always over at Vamp.
Yeah.
And every time he saw me, he would say hi to me. I don't know if he knew my name or not. I know my old co-host, he said, "Hey, yeah, you're that FU guy, right?" Because he's always known as the FU guy, Chris Satterfield. And he's like, "Vinnie Paul knows my name. Vinnie Paul knows my name." I said, "That's cool, man." but I never really took a picture with him. I mean, I never really did. I mean, I wanted to, but then I didn't want to.
Right,
and
right.
It's like, okay, because anytime that I would see him, everybody's always bum rushing him. Everybody's always taking pictures with him, and he'd take pictures with everybody.
Right. Yeah.
I'd kind of wait till everybody was done and stuff, and I didn't want to be the last. I didn't want to be that guy that was, let me take one more picture, and he's like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that.
Right, right.
It's like, so I look at him and say, hey, Vinny, how you doing, man? I'd shake his hand. That was it. I'd say hi to him, and I'd walk away. I don't know if he appreciated that or what, but I never got a picture with him.
Wow.
And now he's gone, and I don't have a chance anymore, but may you rest in peace and everything. And he's up there with Dimebag. They're having fun.
Yeah,
so,
that's right. That's right.
But yeah, it's I don't do that a lot. And
yeah, he's a great drummer, man.
Doing it more.
I love. Cowboys from Hell is great, but I just absolutely love the Vulgar Display album, Vulgar Display of Power.
Yeah,
that's when I first saw them. At the Pacific Amphitheater. White Zombie opened for them. That was a great concert. Great concert.
Yeah.
Great band. Great drummer.
Yeah.
Just slamming drummer. I got the biggest compliment, one of the biggest compliments of my career, from Vinny. I hope I don't fucking lose it here, but I've always thought of him as a great drummer. Just an amazing. Him and his brother, it's just, when I was with the Bay City Rollers, Ian Mitchell's thing, that's kind of like when I first met Vinny. It was kind of funny to him because wearing the plaid tie and stuff, he's just like, oh, he's kind of laughing about it and stuff, whatever. And then he found out I was with Dale Bosio and Missing Persons. And he actually came and saw me perform with her, my last gig with them at the Las Vegas Country Saloon. And we got our pictures taken and stuff, and he came right backstage after the gig, and I'll never forget it. He said, dude, I had no idea, Jonny, that you were such a technically sound drummer. You fucking nailed all that Bosio stuff, dude. I can't believe it, dude. That's exactly what he said to me.
Wow.
And he gave me a hug, and he just kind of like grabbed my shoulder. He's just going, dude, you nailed it, bro. And that was great.
Wow.
Because that, playing that stuff, that Bosio, that's no joke either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just face reality for a second. But to hear a compliment like that from Vinny is just awesome, man.
Oh, yeah.
Especially someone that I look up to,
Oh, sure.
as a drummer.
Oh,
you know?
I mean,
And it's just
idols.
It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
pretty. I'm still that guy. I used to still be that starstruck guy, up until like not too long ago. But I kind of curbed that. Now I'm the guy. Whenever I see them, I want to jam with them. I want to play with them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm still that 13-year-old kid that has to be front row center, bro, asking for guitar picks and shit. I'm still that guy, dude. Like, yeah, fuck yeah. I will always be that guy.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
I was really fortunate. I mean, we got to see Motorhead's one of their final tours.
Oh wow!
And it was just before he passed away.
Wow.
He was playing at the House of Blues.
Wow.
The guy I was working for, he was a foundation member, so he got tickets to the House of Blues.
Right.
So he got us tickets for Motorhead. I'm just like, okay, cool. So got us free tickets to that. So me and my brothers went, and we got there really early. So we went right up
to the front.
And it was funny because we didn't know where he was going to be standing.
Right.
We wound up standing right in front of him.
Oh, that's perfect.
Where we were standing. My little brother was taking pictures. He had a press pass, so he got in for free anyway.
Oh, that's great.
So he's taking pictures up there of him. And my older brother, he's sitting there. I didn't even see it happen. We were sitting there playing. Me and my little brother, we're sitting there, we're banging our heads, and we just, our hair is flying all over the place and everything. It's hilarious. And all of a sudden out comes this freaking pick, and my brother catches it. So he has a pick from
Lemmy?
From Lemmy.
Oh, that's great.
And then shortly after that, I think about a month later, we heard that he had passed away.
Oh,
and
man.
It's just like,
oh, so that's great.
That, and it's just like, but getting to see him play
Yeah.
before he passed. I didn't get a chance to see Vinny play. I've seen the videos, but that's about it.
Right. The first and only time I saw Motorhead was at Long Beach Arena when they opened for the Blizzard of Oz.
Oh, wow.
Ozzy's first venture out with Randy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That was great, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I saw
Dang.
that. I saw that. That was great.
When that came out,
I was like 81, I think.
yeah.
1981. 81. I think the album came out in 80,
Yeah,
and the
Blizzard
concert
of Oz
was 81.
Yeah. Yeah, I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school.
Right on.
But yeah, it was no, I was a sophomore in high school. Yeah, I graduated in '83, so '81. I was a sophomore in my second year of high school.
That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I had a poster when I was in AIT, and I was in advanced training in the military. I was at Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
We got to decorate the inside of our lockers with whatever we wanted.
I know how this was going to turn out.
and that was when Dark Side of the Moon came out.
Oh, boy.
Right? So on one side of the pullout, right, was the werewolf.
Right.
Flip side of that was Ozzy in a really nice white suit.
That's right.
Just, personally just, I'm badass. So I had the wolf side out, right? And so we had a wall locker inspection and everything. My DI comes up to me, looks at it, he goes, "Really? A werewolf?" I went, "Yeah." And he goes, "What the hell's that all about?" I said, "It's an Ozzy Osbourne thing." And he goes, "Who's that?"
Oh, my.
My DI was a female drill sergeant.
Okay.
Our senior drill sergeant goes, "I'm gonna get you the most backward ass drill sergeant. I'm gonna get you a female drill. Nothing against female drill sergeants."
Right.
That was his words, not mine. She was actually pretty cool.
Right.
She looks at it. She goes, "That's a really freaky poster." She goes, "What's on the other side, or do I want to know?" So I pulled it down, and I turned it over, and she goes, "Okay, that's better." So I had to have that on there. I was just like, "It's my wall locker. What the hell, man?" It was funny.
Now you've passed inspection.
Yeah, now I passed. I put Ozzy with his debonair suit on. That was pretty funny. But yeah, I didn't really start going to concerts really until, a lot of concerts till I moved here.
Oh, really?
My very first concert was Blue Oyster Cult.
Wow.
And that was in '83.
That's awesome.
It's my first secular concert.
Right.
Yeah, or mainstream concert.
Right.
Everything else was all Christian rock. I went to Striper and
Petra and all.
Yeah.
Bloodgood.
Daniel Amos. Daryl Mansfield.
Daryl Mansfield, all those guys. Yeah.
Those guys. Oh, yeah. Randy Stonehill.
Yep.
Didn't get to see Larry Norman, but I saw Randy Stonehill.
God, I forgot about Randy Stonehill. My God.
The surf
wow.
Duke. He was a surf dude, man.
Trip out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but he's really cool, dude. It's funny. We were watching him at a show, and we had seen him he was on a little tour, and we saw him at four of the dates that he had that were in our area. Me and my little brother went.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because we saw him walking to the stage, and we just yelled out, "Surf Duke!" He stops, he looks, he goes, "Yeah!" Walk back on stage. It was hilarious. It was funny. But Blue Oyster Cult was at my first concert. Blue Oyster Cult and Richie Blackmore's Rainbow.
Oh, that's great.
Was that? And I remember Smoke on the Water. I remember Godzilla and Don't Fear the Reaper.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
I was hammered.
My first concert was 1977, August 27th, at the Inglewood Forum. It was the second night out of 3. Cheap Trick opening for Kiss on their Love Gun tour.
Oh, wow.
And when they did Firehouse, Gene Simmons caught his hair on fire.
Oh,
so that one and only picture that you see, I posted it on Facebook a couple days ago, where his hair's on fire with the Love Gun outfit. That's from the night I was there.
Oh, wow.
And the guy comes out on the side of the stage, puts a towel on him. Gene pushes him. He walks off stage, and then he comes back on stage with a standing ovation with his arms up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was at that show. Totally great. Yeah,
Wow.
that was my first concert.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, it was Boys to Cult. Then after that, it was I was in the military, so I saw. Let's see, Tony Carey and Night Ranger.
Oh wow!
Tony Carey actually got booed off.
Really?
Booed off. He did like 3 songs, and everybody's like talking and bullshitting around and getting really loud,
And
not
just
paying attention to him.
and they just that's
and
bad.
He goes, "You guys really ready to rock?" And everybody's going, "Yeah." One guy goes, "It's about time," and he goes, "All right, well here comes Night Ranger," and walked off stage.
Oh wow!
I'm like,
Ouch.
whoa, okay.
Oh, before I forget, I need to mention XL Drumsticks. Hi,
Uh-huh.
Tori. Zildjian Cymbals. Hi, Kirsten Matt. PDP Drums and Remo Drumheads.
There you go. Nice.
And Zildjian Cymbals again, because I love Zildjians.
Yeah. So you have your own series yet?
Yeah, they're the Johnny Les Signature Series drumsticks that you can get exclusively at xldrumsticks.com.
Nice.
And they're available at every Johnny Les performance for
Sister
$10 a
Christian was
pair.
great.
And I got Stinson Brothers drumsticks too, because I'm their new drummer. So I got XL Drumsticks, Johnny Les Stinson Brothers drumsticks as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I got quite a few sticks. I have a collection of. I got to get some of those too.
Yeah, I got some in the car. I'll give you a pair.
Oh, cool. Yeah, but then let's see. Yeah, I saw Night Ranger. Then I saw Worldwide Live Tour.
Oh yes,
Bon Jovi opened up for him.
Oh yeah. I was thinking of the Scorpions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Scorpion.
Worldwide Live.
Yeah. That was a great gig, boy.
Oh yeah, it was. Watching that show.
That was
live
awesome.
Was really
that was
cool.
'83, I think, because I think the Scorpion
84.
was it '84. Then that was the same show. Well, maybe, because that was March '83 at the US Festival, but the Scorpions played there.
Yeah.
And I think it was the same show, kind of, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
But
Probably.
great freaking band, man.
Never got. I mean, I so wanted to go do Us,
Oh, it was great, dude.
and I met a lot of people that went to go do Us.
It
and
was
I'm just
great.
like,
We were
I
there for
never
almost
did
a
get it.
week.
I'm like, man, Us is
At
supposed
least
to be
5
like
days, I think we were
Woodstock.
there.
You know, that's supposed to be like the
Yeah.
that was a modern day Woodstock.
That was excellent.
But,
That was excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty cool. Before I went in the army, I saw a video with Rudy Schenker.
Oh, Rudy Schenker?
Yeah, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm a very good composer. You know, you write some words, blah blah blah, and do it again." You know, just the way he talks. And I always remembered that. It was hilarious because me and my brother took a music appreciation course in junior college, and because we always wanted to go to school together. So he got out of the Navy, and before I went in the military, before I went in the Army, we did a class together. We did a few classes.
Right.
One was music appreciation. He goes, "Okay, name a good composer." Right? And I went,
Rudolph Schenker.
Rudy Schenker. And he goes, "Who?"
Who's
I said,
that?
"Yeah, he wrote the song Holiday." My brother is sitting there and he's trying to contain himself. We're the only rockers in the whole class. Everything else is all these little older Filipino people and some other
Oh, that's really
couple
fun.
people our age, and the people that were our age that kind of looked at us like, "Who?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's from the Scorpions," and they went. They weren't into rock and roll. They didn't know who the Scorpions were.
That's excellent.
My instructor, the teacher looks at us and goes, "I'm gonna have a problem with you guys." Right? I'm like, "What? You asked me who my favorite composer was. That's my favorite composer. He wrote the song Holiday. You wrote a few words, blah blah blah, Holiday." And it was so funny. He looks at us, looks at me and my brother. We go walk in there. Those safari hats?
Yeah.
Or French Foreign Legion hats?
Yeah.
They had the things in the back.
Right.
I had a Pink Floyd one on. They had the screaming head out of the wall on one side, and then a whole bunch of buttons on the other side. We had those on going into his class, and he's just like, why did you guys take this class? We appreciate music. Isn't this music appreciation? He goes, well, it's mostly classical. And then we both looked at each other and went, Bach. Making fun of Radar on MASH.
That's hilarious.
And it was just so funny. It's just, there's a few stories about that. We'll get into that later. Get into that some other time. But it's a lot of fun. Music is just, I mean, it's one thing that brings everybody together is music.
Yeah, absolutely. My
And
God.
It doesn't matter what kind of music it is. It's just music in general.
Yeah, that's what I found in Three Blind Mice performing in currently is me doing the cover thing. I would love to be back on the big stage doing the original stuff, like all my buddies are and stuff. But at this point, doing the little mom and pop bars and stuff, making ends meet, it's basically what's being placed in front of me at this time, and that's great. I just love the cover stuff. People, like you said, the music. People they attach themselves to it, whether it takes them back to a time being a kid or a teenager or whatever. That's what I'm finding doing the classic rock stuff. It's just reminding everybody and myself of times when we were growing up. Even though we're playing other people's music, we play it like it's ours, like we own it. And it just comes off really good like that. But with respect to what you said, you're absolutely right. Music you just can't live without it.
Right.
It's just everywhere. You have to have it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody likes their quiet time.
Right.
But there's sometimes you just gotta have music. It's just.
And especially live music now that
Yes.
everything's opening up and
Yes.
nobody's wearing any masks anymore. My God, it's so great to see people's faces and smiles again.
Oh, definitely.
It's way good. It's way good.
It's always fun when you get to see somebody and all of a sudden they're behind something and they work somewhere and they don't have a mask on, let's say, and they're a bank or whatever.
Right.
It's just like and then you instead of seeing just somebody's eyes.
Right.
And you can tell when people are smiling and not smiling because they kind of squint a little bit when they're smiling.
Right.
It's like, okay, I can tell you're smiling, but I don't know if you have a nice smile or not. And then then you see them just like, well, that's a beautiful smile.
Isn't that nice?
Because it's just, this world is there's too many things.
It's not a world. It's a flat Earth plane.
This plane that we live in.
There you go. But
this plane that we live in is.
now here, I'll tell you why. I'll just imagine this. Okay, every day at 12 noon, Earth. Okay, if Earth is a spinning sphere, it takes 24 hours on its rotation axis, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're told. 24 hours is a full day. 12 noon, the Earth is spinning. It's facing the sun, right? So when the spinning ball Earth is facing the sun, that's the daytime. When spinning sphere Earth faces away from the sun, that's the nighttime, right? That's what we're told.
Mm-hmm.
24 hours in a rotation on its axis.
Mm-hmm.
It takes 365 days for spinning sphere Earth to go revolution around the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
A whole year. Here's the problem with this. 12 noon, say my fist is the sun, and here's 12 noon, facing the sun. It spins in 24 hours, right? 12 noon is facing the sun. It has to be facing that same direction to be 12 noon facing the sun, correct? Do you agree?
Okay.
12 noon is facing this way. As it goes around the sun, if 12 noon this way is facing the sun, it has to be facing the same direction. So now, in 6 months, daylight becomes night. We don't observe that. Do you understand? I'll say it again. Right, if the sun is facing 12 noon this way, 6 months from now, it has to be facing that same direction. But now it's facing away because now it's in dark time. So in 6 months, daylight becomes nighttime, but we don't observe that. 12 noon is always 12 noon. Why? Because Earth does not spin around the sun. You just realized it, right? So I just saw the look on your face. That's the problem with this. It doesn't happen. I saw the look in your eye. You're going, wow, you're right.
Okay, well, I can see that happening.
There you go. Well, of course you see it. We see it every day at 12 noon. But see, well, let's take this day. This is the 22nd of June. We'll go 6 months from now, and we'll see if in 6 months 12 noon is now midnight, but it won't be.
It'll be midnight on the other side.
But in this point where we're at, this is my point. This is where we're at. And here's the part about you said about the ball, about Earth being a sphere. Do we have time?
Yeah.
Okay. Globers have a theory. It's called the Pythagorean theory. If the Earth's
I've heard of that.
if the Earth's circumference is 25,000 miles in circumference, that's all spinning sphere Earth is. That's how big it is. That's it. The theory for the formula to figure Earth curvature is miles squared times 8 inches. That's the math. It has to be correct. That is the formula for a spinning sphere Earth circumference at 25,000 miles. So we'll say my finger is JP. Let's say JP is standing here at this point, and he walks out 1 mile from his position here. If he's walking on a sphere, now this never changes to scale. A ball is a ball, no matter how big it is or how small it is. But with respect to spinning sphere Earth, the circumference of the ball being 25,000 miles, we know this. So if JP walks 1 mile out, he's going to follow a curvature down because Earth, the ball goes like this, right? Mm-hmm. You're on a ball. It's not flat, so he's not walking straight. He's walking on a ball because Earth is a ball. So if he walks 1 mile out, 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 8 inches is 8 inches. So JP at 1 mile out will be 8 inches lower than this JP. Now if we clone him a second time and he walks out 2 miles, he's following the curve. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 8 inches is 32 inches. Now, the second JP is 32 inches lower. I'm not disputing whether you could see an object that far out. Let's go 3 miles out. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 8 is 72 inches. That's 6 feet. So now, the third JP is here. The drop is getting considerable. So, at 3 miles out, if you're following, I'm not disputing whether you could see an object. I'm talking about the land surface you're standing on. Because remember, if you're on a ball, it's going to curve in every direction, not just in front of you. Yeah. So, at the 3rd mile out, if you're 6 feet below here, your feet, the top of your head, is now 72 inches below where JP is standing. The top of JP's head is now below JP's feet because he's 6 feet below. He's 3 miles out because 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 8 is 72 inches. Mm-hmm. That math has to be correct. Mm-hmm. It has to be. So if at 3 miles out, JP is under the third clone is under the feet of JP, it will be physically impossible to ever see the horizon line past 3 feet. But yet when you're on the beach at Newport in California, what's 28 miles or 31 miles, 28 to 31 miles away? You can see the horizon line of Catalina. You can see it. But yet, this math just told you that at 3 miles out, an object will be below your feet. So it's physically impossible to ever see the horizon line if you're on a ball. It cannot be done, ever. Never. Never. Because you're on a ball and all the lines converge downward. But yet, when you're 39,000 feet in the air, you're cruising at 600 miles. If you're on a ball, the line should be converging downward. So the horizon should be way here, way below you. But you just look out the window and it's still there. Because Earth is flat and it's infinite. It's not a spinning sphere. And a lot of people will argue, well, it's that big, it's 25,000 miles. Well, yeah, you're right. It's only that big. It's actually very small. And funny how when you see pictures, the ISS, the International Space Station, is flying overhead right now. There's websites that tell you that. And you click on, oh, there it is. You can see it in front of the moon. What a great picture. Take out your telescope and your cameras, your high-powered cameras, and take a picture of the International Space Station, right? You see the pictures all the time on Google. Funny, when the International Space Station is looking back down on Earth, because the size of that wingspan is a football stadium. So if we know the dimensions on that, why can't we see Dodger Stadium from the International Space Station? If you can see it in the other way.
Right.
Huh. Exactly. And you were in the military.
Yeah.
So how much do you know about 2-degree pencil beam?
Oh, what?
A line of sight 2-degree pencil beam from Apache helicopters and when they fire missiles. Yeah, you realize that's what they're using, a 2-degree pencil beam, firing mechanism for a targeting system. They don't go by Coriolis effect and they don't allow for Earth curvature. They're hitting targets. There's a new Navy rail gun that's hitting targets nautically at 110 miles away and over land 128 miles away. They're blasting their targets because of a 2-degree pencil beam. And here's another thing. I just flew from Wisconsin with the Stinson brothers, and I was the last passenger off, so I could specifically ask the pilots this. How often, if they're flying at 600 miles an hour and the Earth is spinning at 1,000, why not just hover and let your destination bring you, and then you just land? Right? And I asked them, how often do you have to dip your nose to follow the Earth curvature? And they looked, they said, well, we don't. We actually lift it up because it's a flat plane. I said, so you're not following Earth curvature? Because in my math, if the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and you're only flying at 600, you would have to dip your nose every 50 seconds to a minute and 15 seconds as to not fly out into space to follow the Earth curvature. Well, no, we don't do that. It's flat. That's what they said. Every pilot I've asked, when I get off a plane, they actually tell me they lift the nose up to fly flat. Oh, and they set the automatic pilot too, and they show pictures of their kids playing soccer. They're not following Earth curvature because there is none. I'm telling you. But yeah, those things I just described with the sun. If 12 noon facing the sun this way is in the sun, but if 6 months from now, if Earth is really spinning on 24 hours, 12 noon has to be facing the same direction. In 6 months, it's going to be facing away. That right there in itself proves that Earth does not spin and does not spin and revolve around the sun. 12 noon, you can look out the window and you see it yourself. And 6 months from now, you'll see the same thing. I guarantee it. But there you go.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm glad I see. This is why it's all worth it to me. And it's that exact look in your face, because you don't want to say I'm right. You don't want to say I'm wrong, but you're an intelligent person and you know the math I just told you and all these little diagrams are in your head and you're going, that's right. It does. So always remember, with respect to a conspiracy, and I'll use that word, and I know I might screw this up, but no matter what kind of proof or evidence you have to support it, it becomes a possibility. But then the more you research into it and you get more concrete evidence, then the possibility becomes a probability. See, I think I screwed that up. I think it's the other way around. But there's a 9/11 documentary about hitting the Pentagon, and they use that analogy. And you don't want to get me started about the Pentagon, but that's a whole big different.
Yeah,
and the
that's
9/11, that's a whole different bottle of.
Oh yeah.
But since we're on the topic of flat, I've only been a flat earther for about 5 years, going on 5 years. It'll be 5 years this November. I've been a ufologist my whole life, the study of extraterrestrials and UFOs. So now that I've become a ufologist, I've had to think and rethink astronomy and physics and certain other aspects of sciences and pseudosciences with conjoining them together. Because you got to remember, we have a firmament above us where both the sun and the moon are at, and the firmament itself rotates. The sun isn't 93 million miles away, and the moon isn't 238,000 miles away. That's bullshit. They're both close proximity light sources up in the firmament. And the firmament.
Do you think the moon's hollow?
Well, I think it's plasma. I think it's some type of plasma. I don't know, like a mirror, a sheet. I don't know. It could be a ball. It could be a sphere. The sun itself could be a sphere, or it could be just a flat plasma. I don't know. But what I do know is space is water. And with respect to biblical terms, and even NASA will tell you, that's why they have a 10-foot pool. So they can recreate the same similarities of space.
Okay, yeah.
But they'll tell you but that's an actual fact, because the firmament divides the waters from above and from the waters below. But I don't want to get into biblical stuff with you, but we do have a firmament above us. It's parallel to flat Earth plane, and that's where both the sun and the moon are. And with respect to that, there's videos up of the CXT rocket. It's a civilian rocket company. They sent up a rocket in 2014, straight up, no arcing to achieve low Earth orbit, straight up. And its velocity, I believe, was 3,850 miles per hour. It was fucking jamming. It stops abruptly, bam, because it smashes into the firmament. This was a daytime launch, and as the rocket separates, there's no re-entry burn. You see in all the movies, oh, we got to come in at the right angle. Oh, don't fall. If you fall out of the air, you'll burn because the re-entry burn. Well, no. Earth isn't spinning. So at any rate, I'll send you a bunch of links, and I'll school you more if you want. Some of your readers or your viewers, if you just go to my page, I have a bunch of YouTube created videos I've done on flat Earth and firmament. But it's not my job to convince anybody. Everybody has their own mind and their own free thinker. But it is my job. I look at it like this: if there's a child, and I'm not saying everybody's a kid but if a child is ready to put their hand on a stove when the fire's burning and they don't know any better, I will be the person to tell that person, don't do that, you'll burn yourself. Well, as sure as I would tell a child to not burn their hand in the fire, that's how I feel about it's my duty to tell people that Earth isn't a spinning sphere. If you want to get into the sciences and the creativeness of it all, the Nazis had a Nazi. The Germans had a Nazi. His name was Werner von Braun. And his duty was space architecture and rocketry. Well, after the war, World War II, Werner von Braun, the Nazi, his job for space architecture and rocketry, he got a job at NASA. So, in the early 60s. So, everybody knows the Nazis' agenda: human control, to control the Earth. What better way than to fake Earth spinning, solar system? They go by it's fakery. It's a way to control us all, and they make money at doing it. So that's what I think a lot of it has to do with still having Nazi control from them with their agenda and their criteria and their vision from back then to keep it ongoing, even to now.
Right.
And it's still ongoing. Oh my God, there's a reason why NASA gets over $19 billion a year to keep creating this lie. You know, when everybody's in a pandemic and everybody's struggling for money, people are losing their businesses, they're losing this, they're losing that, they're committing suicide because they can't pay rent anymore, but yet NASA gets handed this much money to keep the fakery lie going. It just doesn't make sense. It's all bad. But I'm glad that you, as you're sitting here with me, allowed me to do this spinning thing, because I've been telling people a lot about this, and every person I do this little demonstration for, a little light bulb goes off, just like I saw in your eyes.
Right.
And that's enough for me.
I've never had anybody explain it to me like that.
And with respect to remember, you're on a ball. Where's my thing? So if you're standing here, when you curve down, it's always curving downward. So at 3 miles out, 72 inches, you'll be below this person.
Right.
So at 3 miles out, it's just physically, if this math is correct, and it has to be, with respect to a 25,000 mile circumference spinning sphere Earth, it will be physically impossible to ever see the horizon line. It just can't be done.
Right.
If you're going by this math, and this math has to be correct, but yet we don't say that. You fly in a plane, you stand at the beach, which is level with the ocean level, and you can see the horizon line. I don't know what to tell anybody, but there it is. People know Earth is flat just by their own daily experiences. They're just not connecting it. They're just not realizing it. It might be a better word, you know, because they've been indoctrinated. What's the first thing you see when you walk into kindergarten school? The spinning the globe. You are here, you know, and then there you go. Yeah. All they got to do is take Hubble and turn it around and show spinning sphere Earth. That's all they got to do, is have in fact, bring Hubble back, put it on a rocket, send it up with no breaks, a continuous live feed. I'll give them my fucking camera to do it. And okay, well, we're going to go to this angle, and then we're going to show the launch pad. No, one continuous feed. Take Hubble up and go for a couple, 2 or 3 days. Just keep going. Remember, we don't have a firmament. So just keep going like you're going to the moon. Go for a couple days. Let's see if you can get past the firmament. Then turn around, turn the Hubble around, and show spinning sphere Earth. And zoom in on Australia. And let's see people upside down. If that happens, I will stop with the flat Earth immediately.
People upside down?
Absolutely. Because we're on a spinning sphere, remember? The land down under. So if they do that, continuous feed, no breaks, just a continuous rocket, no CGI, actually as it happens live, turn that damn thing around and show spinning sphere Earth, I'll shut the hell up. But they'll never do it.
Yeah.
They'll never do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I mean, I can understand your theory on the ballpark. When we're navigating, we have the height of eye, you see, and you can see out so far, right? And your radar goes out up to 72 miles. It's not accurate at 72 miles because of the curvature. Reasoning anyway, from what I was taught,
right?
In radar school and ARPA school and everything. Your radar can only see so far because that beam goes out in a straight line.
Right.
So it's going to see up to a certain part until it starts to fall off, and then it's not going to pick up certain things. And then the closer you get to that item, I mean, you could look out in the ocean and not see anything for miles. Right?
Correct.
take the Gulf of Mexico for instance. There's like, I don't know, 1 billion oil rigs out there.
Oh wow!
Right. So as you're going and you're going in the direction that this place is supposed to be at, this rig is going to be at.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're going, you don't see it because it's
The
like,
waves.
like you said, you're up here, and they're down here. The closer you get to it, it's going to come up. Right?
But
Well, it's not going to rise. You're just going to because it's a stationary platform. Let's say this is the platform, right? And you're way over here. You can't see it because it's.
But you see, you're answering your own questions. You're just not realizing it. You're working on a radar. Radar is line of sight. It's a straight.
Yeah, it's
But the
straight.
reason why it's not picking up things, it's not because of the curvature. Because remember, you just said it perfectly like that. Things in the distance, they rise and they come up like this, like as if it's in an elevator, right? Because of visual perception. If we were on an actual ball, the oil rigs you would see would be tilting. They would be tilting away from you to follow the ball curvature. But they don't do that effect. You're a Navy guy. You're a nautical guy.
There's
Periscopes prove flat Earth, my friend.
periscopes.
Submarine periscopes. Absolutely. 100% prove flat Earth because they're blowing up stuff, destroyers and stuff, miles away, sending torpedoes. You can't follow Earth curvature. Periscopes prove flat Earth, bro. Absolutely. There you go. There's that look again.
This is real interesting.
There's that look again because you know exactly how that works.
Yeah.
You're being a nautical guy. You're like, oh shit, forgot about that one.
It's like
But seriously, yeah.
for everything. It's
It's a very interesting. There's a documentary you should check out. It's called Convex Earth, and they get 8 or 10 of the top scientist guys from all over different countries and stuff. Now, obviously, they added the English audio because it's shot in a different country.
Sure.
So what you're going to be reading or on the subtitles, what you're visually seeing or hearing audio-wise, you have to take with a grain of salt. I know that because how do you know what they're actually saying or what you're hearing, right? Unless you yourself are an interpreter,
Right.
and you know. So you have to kind of just put your faith in, okay, what you're hearing is what they're saying. But my point is they gather like 8 or 10 of the top scientists to disprove flat Earth, to make sure that it's still a spinning sphere.
Right.
They can't do it.
Yeah.
Everything proves it's all flat, and it's called Convex Earth. So you got to watch that one.
Convex or
Convex, Convex Earth. It's a few years old, but just type in Convex Earth full documentary and it'll pop up. It's really good, and those guys go through experimentation and totally talk about it and break it down for you so anybody can understand it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, but I'm nautically speaking, obviously when you got waves and water, you know about water. Water has mass. It always takes the shape of its container, and it always rests level. There's a lake in Russia called Lake Baikal. 5 months out of the year, it freezes. It's 400 miles long. It freezes flat. There's no way when you pull up and you keep going up with a camera or a video or whatever that a dead flat lake 400 miles is going to produce curvature. It's just not, it scientifically can't happen. When does that magical thing happen? When a 400-mile lake that's frozen dead flat, when does that magic appear? When does that moment happen? When it takes on a sphere, a curve. You tell me that.
After 400 miles.
Oh, see?
That's,
Because think about it, the Earth is only 25,000 miles in circumference. So a lake being 400 miles, frozen dead flat, that's the width of California.
Yeah.
And maybe New Mexico, somewhere in there together, flat. But yet they want you to believe that a frozen lake will do this. It's impossible. It's just impossible. No. And especially if being on a ball at 3 miles out, the horizon line should be 6 feet below you from where you're standing. So how can you ever see a horizon line? You can't. It cannot be done, ever. Never. Going by the math, with respect to a spinning sphere that's 25,000 miles in circumference, that math has to be correct to support that theory. That's why the Globers came up with that Pythagorean theory to figure the Earth's curvature. I'm using their theory against them, and it doesn't work for them. It sure works for us, because with what they're trying to tell you, the math doesn't work because you still see the horizon.
Well, as long as I don't fall off the Earth.
You don't have to worry about it. It's infinite.
Yeah.
But there you go. I'm glad that I saw the spark in your eye, because that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this interview, was to set that seed little plant in your brain, because you keep saying, "Oh, that's interesting."
Yeah.
That's
Well, yeah,
it's food for thought. It's just food for thought. You know?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, there's a lot of things that, like I said, I don't talk about religion. I don't talk about politics.
Right.
Or anything else. Different theories and stuff.
But see, this is great though for you, because you obviously have a nautical background and you have a military background.
Yeah.
So you just take all of that together.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just,
Not to mention, some friends of mine actually told me that in the military, they laughed about it, the Coriolis effect and the Earth curvature. They personally told me, Johnny, if we allowed for that formula before every time we fired a missile, we'd miss our target every time. That's bullshit.
yeah.
We just go by the line of sight radar 2-degree pencil beam, and we're hitting targets. Now that we got this new rail gun, we're blasting targets 100 miles away.
Right.
That's ridiculous, bro. There's no way a 2-degree pencil beam is going to follow Earth curvature. It's going to go straight.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, any kind of beam.
Right.
Of any real kind is going to go straight.
Right.
And that's, I mean, like I said, I see your side of it, and it's never really been explained to me that way.
Well,
It's
I'm
just
glad
like-
I did.
Oh yeah, I am too, because there's been some other, I've run across some other.
I've been doing this
some other
daily
people.
for 5 years now, going on 5 years. And the thing that really cemented it for me was the spinning Earth, 24 hours on its axis. It's got to be 12 noon facing the day, because that's daytime, but it's got to be facing that same direction, because 12 noon is facing this way. So if it's 24 hours, 12 noon will always face in the same direction. That's just a given. So in 6 months, if 12 noon originally is facing this way, but will be facing this way, that's not what we observed. That right there is what cemented it for me. And that was just like about a couple months ago.
Right.
So now it's the fire is even burning more now.
Wow. Yeah. That's it. Well, that's good. That's really interesting. Yeah. I like learning new things.
Yes.
And stuff. Things that we don't really think about. And
Right.
and some things is like, okay, those are just crazy people. Okay, whatever.
Oh my God! I'm
And it's
sure.
just- and
I'm
there's-
sure
there's
I've
been
lost
some-
gigs. I'm sure thousands of people have raised their eyebrows. Oh, here comes Johnny. Lets that fly. He's crazy, but just I don't know. I don't want to think bad of people. I would still like to think people would like to still give other people the benefit of the
Sure.
doubt, rather than be fake around someone just because they want to be around that person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. The thing is, and it's like that for pretty much everybody.
Sure, absolutely.
If you have a set of values, set of beliefs that you have, and you really truly believe in that, who am I to say you're wrong?
Right,
Because it's not my truth.
right,
If I don't believe it, then that's on me, right? And you believe it, and that's making better person and making you feel how you feel.
But it's not.
Things.
It's not more or less of a belief.
Well,
It's more or less, with respect to me,
mm-hmm.
it's more or less of a realization
Mm-hmm.
of being awoken to a lie that has been put upon me my whole life. That is a different feeling than a belief in something. People believe in Jesus because of a book, the Bible, of the Old Testament, the New Testament. So they have faith. That's where that comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm doing is beyond that, because I'm going to what we're actually physically, perspectively living in, all of us. I'm not here. Jesus isn't here.
Yeah.
Spiritually, they'll tell you he is, but he's not here turning.
Faith.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he's not a physical being right here is what I'm saying.
Right.
But the earth, the sun being above me at 12 noon today, and 6 months from now, it'll still be at 12 noon in the daytime. That's a reality.
Right.
That is not a belief. That's a reality.
Right.
So believing that, if it comes out to, then that's a flat earth thing, then that's more of a realization than a faith thing or a believing in something.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
2 + 2 is 2. It's not 22. That's
Right.
reality. So it's kind of the same thing, type thing, in a weird kind of a way.
Well, okay. Well, speaking of that, you said the 2 + 2 thing. 10 + 10 is what?
10 + 10 is 20.
Okay. 11 + 11 is the same thing.
Well, 11 + 11 is 22.
What's 10 + 10?
Is 20.
And 11 and 11?
Is 22.
It's the same thing.
Well, it's the same thing with respect to taking two numbers.
It's just a word. It's just a word. A play on words. That's all that is.
Yeah.
22 is in 20 also.
Oh, I get you. I
Yeah.
get you. Now he's got jokes. He's got jokes now.
I got jokes now. No, it's and here's the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. You can get two people, because I've never really been a flat earther. I never really understood it too much. Never had it explained like you explained.
Right.
It. But I never really, I didn't think they were crazy. I'm just like, okay, well, that's what you want to believe, fine. I've learned what I've learned, in the nautical field and everything else like that. And so I have my theories.
Mm-hmm.
And thing is, it works because we're not arguing with each other. I'm not saying,
yeah,
you're full of shit. That's bullshit. I'm not saying that at all.
Right.
And I'm not even thinking that now. I'm not thinking that at all. Because one, you've taken the time to explain it to me, and you've explained it and you've explained it well, and in a way that you didn't say, "Look, dumbass, this is how it is."
No.
You're just
You have to approach it. Kind of just like how I did.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you have a military background and I know you have a nautical background, so you're taught in certain sciences with respect on how to navigate and all this, so you don't freaking kill yourself out there. I mean,
sure.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But it's not believing you're full of shit or this and that or trying to disprove something that you've already been taught. I look at it like you said, I've never been a flat earther, blah, 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 whatever you said. But I look at it like we're all flat earthers. It's just everyone hasn't realized it yet. That's how I look at it.
We're all living on the same plane.
because forever, you got to remember, being a ufologist, I was that spinning sphere guy all my life.
Yeah.
All my life. But now that I've become a flat earther, realizing where we actually live, trying to disprove it and prove that Earth is a spinning sphere, I can't.
Right.
I've never been able to. But I can prove that Earth is flat, but you can't prove that Earth is a spinning sphere. Like I said, take Hubble Tep and turn it around. Do that.
Yeah.
But, they won't.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. You having 400 miles of flat ice.
Think about it.
There's
Lake Baikal.
And you never really see that curve. I mean, you see it when you look straight out. You can see the curvature.
But
You can kind of see it. That's what. But then again,
you got to think of it like
bends.
you're in a hotel
Mm-hmm.
and you're in a hallway and you're looking down the hallway. All the doors come down like this. All the lanterns, the hallway lamps, they all converge and they all converge down to the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And even the horizon line will always be at your eye level.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're.
But again, if you're on a 25,000 mile ball, circumference ball, meaning spinning Earth, at 3 miles out, the horizon line, because it's following the Earth curve, because all the lines converge downward in every direction,
Mm-hmm.
because you're on a ball, at 3 miles out, you can't see the horizon anymore.
Right.
And if that were the case, on a boat, on a plane at 39,000 feet, simply walking down the street, you can always see the horizon line. So in my brain, that just right there just proves that we're on a ball. And that's using the globe mathematics for a circumference sphere of 25,000 miles, which is how big they told us Earth is. So using their measurements and their formulas that they fed us, what we see in reality isn't what they're telling us. Because at 3 miles out, if you're on a ball, you shouldn't be able to see the horizon, but there it is. And you're a sailor, so you're the best person to know that.
Or here's the thing: as you're moving down that curve, you're actually wherever you're at. I mean, it seems a little far-fetched now, you know, but as you're going on that curve is gonna, I mean, you're gonna move with that curve. So no matter where you're at, it's gonna be flat.
Well, that's exactly why I asked the pilots that. Why aren't they dipping their nose to follow Earth curvature? They said they don't. There is no curvature. It's flat. They lift their nose up so they can maintain the wind and all that, you know, that whole thing. And the whole hovering thing, because Earth is, if it's 24 hours in a day spinning, that means the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, theoretically. So if they're only traveling at a top speed, a commercial airline, between 500 and 600 miles an hour, and Earth is spinning faster than you're traveling, you'll never get to your destination, ever.
Sure.
So just hover and let the destination come around behind you and then land. But they don't do that because Earth isn't spinning.
Makes sense. Kind of makes sense.
There's that look again. There's that look in your eye.
Kind of makes sense. Yeah.
I think we're probably, are we about done?
Yeah, we're actually a little over 8:15, but we're all good.
Okay, good.
We're all good on time. But yeah, this has been really
Thank you.
enlightening.
This is great. I'm glad we got to talk about this, and the whole UFO thing. Yeah, that got me. I was 13 years old when I got into that. My dad being a police officer, real quick, I was going through his Army chest. He was a sergeant in the Army as well. And I'm going through his stuff as a kid, just being all fascinated by all this crap in there. And I came across this book. It's called The Firefighter's Handbook to Natural Disasters. And that's a book they gave your Army, your Navy, your Coast Guard, your police, your fire. It wasn't for civilians.
I read the book.
There you go. He said, look at chapter 13. You look at chapter 13, what to do in the event of an alien invasion. And this was given to my dad back in the 40s and in the 50s, you know, back in those days. So, I don't know. You know, that's what got my interest in it. And from that day, just learning as much as I can about UFOs, the Barney and Betty Hill incident, the Northern Lights in Arizona, all this stuff, Dulce, New Mexico, all kinds of stuff. It's just brings up all that UFO stuff, which is real.
Oh yeah, I've seen some people's different people's accounts in Arizona. And
I personally think, because I know we have a firmament.
Lizard people.
Right. Well, because I know we have a firmament and there's no solar systems like Zeta Reticuli, this and that, blah blah blah. Betty Hill, when she was under hypnosis, she made a star map of where the Greys were from. And years later, Zeta Reticuli was discovered, and it's the same star map. So that's how people, oh, well, how did she know about Zeta Reticuli years later before we discovered it, when she's under hypnosis by being abducted by aliens? So there's that connection. But personally, I think Zeta Reticuli, Andromeda's belt, the 3 stars in Andromeda's belt, there's a certain time of the year when that comes overhead, it lines up perfectly with the 3 pyramids of Giza.
Mm-hmm.
Those stars, you probably know about that.
Right, yeah.
So I'm thinking in my brain now, since I have to put ufology and flat earth together, that they're landmarkers in the firmament. So Zeta Reticuli, way over there in the firmament, landmarker for their civilization on flat earth. Andromeda, same thing, landmarker for them, way over here on flat earth. Got to remember, Earth's an infinite flat plane, and in my brain, if extraterrestrials do really exist, which I think they really do, they got to come from somewhere. Since we can't get past the firmament, maybe they can come this way through the firmament. I don't know. I've never been through the firmament. I don't know. My research hasn't got me that far. A lot of flat earthers think that extraterrestrials are fallen angels, and they go biblical like that, or demons and stuff like that, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's all perspective. Maybe biblically, that's why people see that. You know, they angels from the sky with winged beings. Maybe they're aliens. Who knows?
Right.
You never know.
Oh yeah. I mean,
But all I know is I've had a lot of rethinking to do, and it was quite difficult, and I'm still doing it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's the way with the reference to aliens and everything. It's I watch Ancient Aliens all the time.
Oh, I love that show.
There's so many different things that they found that have been really old. I mean, just the oldest.
Sure.
The oldest Bible, the oldest religion that's out there are the Hindus, and there's accounts of atomic wars.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, this is like way back.
I know that episode you're talking, the glass centrifuge of the sand from being heat, thermal heat.
Yeah, and then there's that pill. I guess it's a pillar or something that they don't know what kind of metal it is.
Oh, right.
It never rusts, and it's like 1 million years old or whatever it is. I mean, I don't know how old it is. It's really old. It's real. Looks like a giant dildo or whatever.
You know what?
Out there, but this
is really funny. The year I got into flat Earth, almost 5 years ago now, Trixie, my guitar player for Creature, he's the guy that got me into it. And he told me to watch this one video. And what it was a woman gave birth on a flight from Taiwan to LAX. It's a 19-hour flight on a globe map from Taiwan to LAX. 6 hours into the flight, her water breaks, and she gives birth to a baby on board. So now they have to make an emergency landing. You would think they would have emergency landed in Honolulu or Hawaii, because they're going past that on the way to LAX. They emergency land all the way up in Anchorage, Alaska, which is above Canada, which is above North America, the continent they're going to. Right. Then you got another country, Canada, and then you got Alaska, which is up here on a globe. So why would you go from here, 6 hours in, bypass Honolulu, and then go? Why would you go all the way up to Anchorage? Not to mention, apparently, from my research, from Taiwan, going 6 hours into your flight across the Pacific, and now going back up to Anchorage, Alaska on a globe map, that's a 22-hour flight. The original flight is 19. How did 3 more hours of fuel get into the wings?
That's interesting.
Exactly. So it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But on a flat Earth map, Taiwan's here. LAX is here. Anchorage is in the middle. It's on the way. And on a flat Earth map, Honolulu is out here in the middle of the Pacific. That's why they made the emergency landing in Anchorage. And that's the very video that freaked me out. I'm going, wow, there's lawsuits involved. There's people's lives at stake. They're not going to do that to save fuel or do whatever. But it doesn't make any sense to do that. But on a flat Earth map, it makes perfectly sense. And that's why they did it. And that's the very video that made me get into it. How did 3 hours of fuel magically appear so they can go all the way up to Anchorage when their original flight was only 19 hours? Why not just go to Honolulu if you're theoretically passing over it on a globe map? Anchorage, Alaska. You can Google it. It's all over the internet.
Oh, wow.
And that's the video. That's the very one that made open my eyes. Go, that doesn't make sense. Just like that's interesting. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
but
really
I'm the
does,
ufology guy. I'm the spinning sphere guy. I'm the guy where aliens are coming from light years away. Star Trek. Yeah. You know what I mean? But one video squashed all that.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's the video right there, my friend.
Huh.
So, you know.
Yeah.
And then when you the sun, 12 noon here,
Right.
it should be still facing the. Come on. I love you, bro.
So you're going, interesting.
That's what I needed to hear right there. That's made it all worth it.
Oh yeah,
It's very nice.
To me, any kind
Absolutely.
any kind of new thing. Well, not really new thing.
I just hope some of the viewers and the listeners are actually going, oh, that's interesting as well. So that would be great.
I think so. Danny says he's a flat earther.
Right on, Danny. Way to go, buddy.
And Dana says, take it easy. So what she means, take it easy.
Take it easy.
Not, hey, take it easy.
Back in the 80s, we said, take it sleazy.
Take it, right? Take it sleazy. Oh, yeah.
All right, man.
Man,
Well,
this has been fun.
thank you for having me.
Thank
I
you,
really
man.
appreciate it. If I could plug some gigs,
Sure.
this this Friday,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in Bullhead City, Arizona, performing at the Riviera Roadhouse, doing my ambient style solo vocal show. That's from 8 p.m. to 10:30, and then Saturday and Sunday, I'm in Parker, Arizona, with Three Blind Mice live classic rock performing at the Sundance Saloon. It's
Nice.
right on the Colorado River. It's awesome, but of course it'll be 125 out.
Yeah.
Oops. But Saturday's gig is from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then Sunday's gig is from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And then, of course, Monday we got the big the jam night at the Gravy Train Saloon. And that's what I got coming up this weekend.
Cool. Very good.
There you go.
So check that out. Check out Don. You don't have a website. You just have
Well,
a
just go to
Facebook page?
just the Facebook page, yeah.
Johnny.
Me and Steve are friends on Facebook, so just go to the Johnny Leon Lust page or the Johnny Leon page. They're both the same thing.
Cool.
2 different accounts, but I try to keep them similar.
Sure. Oh yeah. Great.
And Three Blind Mice is that's on Facebook as well. Facebook.com/threeblindmice.lv for Las Vegas, and the word 3 is spelled out. So everything's spelled out, lowercase.
Spell that. Cool. Thanks a lot. Danny says this was an awesome interview.
Thank you.
Man. Appreciate it. Danny gives us a peace sign. Dana's pretty cool. She's a great friend, and her daughter was supposed to be here for my co-host.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's right. We got the poetry show coming up.
Yes.
That's right.
Actually, it's going on right now.
Oh, good.
And so check that out on RevRadioVegas.com.
Awesome.
You'll get that in there. And it's been a lot of fun, John.
Steve, thank you, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Awesome.
Always a pleasure.
Peace, guys. Thank you, everybody.
All right, you guys take it easy, and we will catch you guys next time, next Monday. Check this out. next Monday we're gonna have 3 reggae bands for
All
you.
right.
They're gonna do a live performance for us, and it's gonna be pretty cool. So I won't be doing a whole lot of talking because I'll probably have my nose full of stuff.
That's right.
full of cotton
Full of
balls
cotton
and
balls.
and but yeah, check out the Betty Page show. It's going on right now on RevRadioVegas.com, and also check it out on Thursday and Saturday. We'll have a new show for you on Sunday with the Betty Poetry Show, and yeah, you just you can check this out on YouTube and everything. And thanks everybody for tuning in. And I will catch you
Research
guys next time.
flat Earth and the firmament.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a close up on Jonny right there.
Oh, you can't hear me.
Research flat Earth and the firmament.
There you go. All right. Well, you guys take it easy, and I will catch you guys next time. So I'm out of here. Peace, baby. Love you. Live, love, laugh, and music. Peace.